Hello everyone, my name is John Michael Bushman and welcome back to Master Duel. I took a break for a week and honestly it seemed kind of appropriate now that this card, along with the other new branded support, is now out here on Master Duel alongside the Neocraft, but that's like an archetype that will probably never see too much competitive play. It'll probably be here and there because, you know, it's an annoying deck that flips everything face down, thus not granting access to everything, but branded is a fusion archetype, so it'll probably steamroll that deck very easily, so we're going to see. But this very powerful card is now here on Master Duel, and well, now is as good a time as any to run back Radiant Typhoon, because this deck cares a lot about quick play spells, and this is a very powerful quick play spell that has applications that I never thought were even possible. Now, on the floor, it's basically a Dogmatica punishment. That's all it is. Like this first line of text here, send a Fallen of Albaz from extra deck to graveyard, and then just pop a card. And you would usually send Albion here. And I don't have anything else in the deck that it can fetch out, but other than another copy of the Fallen and the Virtuous, because it's treated as a branded and Dogmatica card. So there is that. And then most builds of the Radiant Typhoon decks that I see only have 2 copies of this, but I'm bumping it up to 3 just so that I can stress test this properly. I wasn't able to play this build of the deck over the weekend because things got pretty busy at the shop, and I needed to make space for these 2 cards right here. And all of the word that I've gotten from the boys, you only really need these 2 cards if you're just going to splash the Fallen and the Virtuous in the deck, and I needed to make space. So Vavavoom has sadly been limited to 1 in my deck. Some people say it's insane because if Vavavoom gets negated, then you'll not have an easy access to the mandate. But we're here to test the Fallen and the Virtuous and see just how cracked of a card it really is. And the second line of text usually doesn't matter, but if you do manage to send the Ecclesia Synchro into the graveyard, she does have a graveyard effect, which allows you to recycle Albion for some reason. I don't know why. There's probably a lore reason that we haven't explored yet, because the Albaz lore is becoming quite insane at this point. And yeah, that will allow you access to the 3rd copy, hopefully, of the Fallen and the Virtuous. But if you don't need to do that, because it just says target a monster in either graveyard, you just special summon it to the field. And it doesn't even need to be the Ecclesia monster that you sent via the Fallen and the Virtuous. So you can revive Vavavoom if, you know, she gets destroyed somehow. So there is that. Otherwise, the shell of this deck is still pretty much the same, with 1 new card actually, which is Manifestation, which is just a Foolish Burial for the entire archetype. So yeah, we're gonna jump into the rank ladder and see just how broken this card really is. Going first with this deck is always nice. So let's see what our opening hand entails. And we bricked. Immediately we bricked. Although we do have a lot of defensive options. But I am not sure we can even safely use Fualos here, unfortunately. What we can do is we can play Sheena, because we will be controlling a wind monster, and then we can set the MST, and we can also set the mandate as a negate. Actually, yeah, we may have bricked, but we can still make something out of this. We literally just have to set our whole board down. They'll be drawing 1 card because we'll normal summon the Fualos, and then we'll basically leave Sheena in hand as a way to hopefully counteract whatever it is my opponent is gonna do. So we're gonna set 3, and then we'll normal summon the Fualos. Well, now it is dangerous because we won't have fuel for super polymerization if and only if Sheena doesn't become live. So we're going to see where this goes, and we're going to play the mandate on my opponent's turn because it just needs a Mystical Space Typhoon to activate. So there is that. And again, Sheena is going to work as a bounce because we control a wind monster on the field. So yeah, this is like one of the worst case scenarios for this deck, but we're going to see if it gets them anywhere. Alright, we're facing off against Power Patrons, which is the next archetype that is going to be hopefully basically taking care of the stuff here. Oh wait, no, we still will have fuel because Sheena will bounce the fuel loss to hand, and then we still have access to Super Poly. So there is that. So Power Patron is the next lore archetype, and it features Medias here. He is the protagonist of the new story, but I sadly don't find it too interesting just yet. I need to brush up on the lore, and it's basically somewhat a retelling of retreading where Albaz already treaded. At least that's how I understand it. But the way they go about the power stuff is very, very different. So I mean, it is called Power Patrons, so there is that. Okay, they shuffled back the effect Veiler, so that's interesting. So they normal summon that. I would destroy the stuff here, but do we or do we not? Add to hand or special summon. I think I'm going to save Sheena until much, much later. And I do know that Power Patrons have a way to have a field spell somewhere in the mix here, and then we can negate something with Mandate from there. Or, okay, they're gonna synchro. I believe it's okay. What the fuck? They have Armadis in here. Okay. Okay, and they even have Elf Notes. All right, cool. So this is actually an Elf Note deck, not a Power Patron deck. So there is that. So we have the lesbian musicians, as the fans affectionately call them, and for good reason. They rock it like so fucking well, especially Tinya here. She's my personal favorite among the Elf Note designs, for obvious reasons, because good god, look at that fit. She rocks it pretty goddamn well. Armadis is a monster that we sadly cannot allow to get to the battle phase. But yeah, I think my opponent is thinking here because they probably read that I have Sheena. That's why I have full loss here face up. Okay, Tinya is up, and the fact that they're not having any. Okay, yeah, they read me like a goddamn book. And now that it's the battle phase, yeah, I can't activate anything, and this basically turns off my Sheena. So yeah, now we're pretty much sort of stuck unless they play a field, unless they play a back row thing. Okay, now they're in main 2. I don't know if I can do anything about this because they are different attributes. So I don't know if yeah, I don't think none of my super poly targets are going to be helpful here, because this one is against School Tune, and a lot of decks here anyway, well, at least the ones that are meta, have like same attributes and or different types. So there is that. Now they're going to the Fiendsmith stuff, so Super Poly might still be live because a lot of their stuff is light attributes. So we're going to see. Sheena is now just discard fodder for Super Poly once we do indeed get to it. Again, sad that the different attributes are crimping our style here, but I think now is as good a time as any to do this. So we're going to MST that card right there, and then we're going to use Mandate to negate the Lacrima here, so that they won't have too much advantage. So I don't think they sent anything else, so yeah, they'll have a slightly harder time to get to stuff. So we're going to see if this crimps their style a bit. They're going to be forced to go into the Link 2 from here, if I'm reading this correctly, and that will make them shuffle the other stuff that they have here in the deck. No, they're still going. So Elf Notes, welcome home. So send a monster from hand or field to the graveyard, special summon an Elf Note. Okay, cool. So sending Tinia. And who are they summoning? I'm assuming the red one, or no, they got Regina instead. Okay, the I believe this is the leader of the Elf Notes. But I'm not exactly keeping up with the lore of the Power Patrons because they're not gripping me the way Albaz did. I don't know why, but so what is she doing? Effect was used, so normal special summon, and Elf Note from the deck. Alright, cool. So she summons from the deck. I'm assuming it's a different attribute. Yep, there's Lucina. So Add an elf node from deck to hand, sure. Again, the fact that they're all different attributes is crimping my super poly here, so that is very, very sad. Now that there are two of them here, I think I should do this now. Because I won't have any other targets, unfortunately. So we're going to discard Sheena. Now that there are two fires, and then we get Muddy Mud Dragon. So we're just removing material here, just so that we can hopefully survive until it comes back around to us. But my odds of survival are honestly very, very low at this point. So I am not sure if I can even crawl my way out of this one. I did somehow, or at least I hope I crimped their style a bit, but we're just going to wait and see. And okay, using Requiem to hopefully give a small buff to their shenanigans here. I mean, I don't need to activate my Dragon of the Swamp, but yeah. This is going to be a really lopsided duel. I'm not gonna make you guys watch through this because I don't know if I even have any live draws here. We're just going to see, and we're just going to see what my draw is and see if I even make it out of this alive, and I don't think I will. So I could go into Typhon, but a lot of the elf notes are like just get under the threshold of Typhon. And as much as I want to bounce Lacrima back to hand, and Regina doesn't do much as well, so and this this only returns a monster from field to hand, so yeah, I don't know if I can even do it at this point. So I'll still try, but I'm not gonna make you guys watch through it because I am working on very, very low resources. So I'll just see you guys either at the next interesting point, or you know, at the point we're in the duel where I somehow get out of this. Going first yet again, so let's see what kind of board I can set up, if I can even set up one. Alright, this is a much better hand compared to what happened last time, and we have a few choices. So we're going to bait shit out by using Vision. We're gonna draw two and see if our opponent reacts. I'm assuming they will. Alright, Fualos is definitely something, but I don't think we even need to summon much. We can just set everything in the graveyard and be happy with it. So now we can get Chant, so that we can get our Megalo. Yeah, I think we can get Megalo. We'll normal summon that, and then we'll leave everything else in hand here. So so we get Chant, and we're just going to go straight into Megalo or Megala, and then we'll normal summon that, and then just set everything else. We're under Fualos anyway. So we draw two, and first appearance of TFTV. Hello. All right, so that is taken care of, and we can turn off holding priority here. And then we don't even need to this only triggers. Okay, yeah. So we'll set Megala there, and then we'll set 1, 2, 3, and 4. There you go, opponent. You're not drawing a card from me, bitch. There you go. Okay, so we have multiple points of interaction here. And yeah. TFTV makes its very first appearance, and opponent concedes after seeing a quote-unquote optimal board from Radiant Typhoon. So yeah, this is why I love playing this deck. You can just set back row, and then they see a Radiant Typhoon monster on the board that can snowball advantage out the wazoo, and yeah, they were pretty much cooked when I didn't summon from the extra deck there. Oh my god, this deck, and I didn't even get to see TFTV in action. Good god. Oh my god. We'll probably just see it in the future. Let's move on to the next duel. Opponent's rocking the Dinosaur Mate, and they won the die roll, so I may be in trouble here. And yeah, no interaction from my hand unless they activate a Quick Play spell, in which case Phonics is going to be live. Question mark. Yeah, if Quick Play spells activated, yeah, if they activate two Quick Play spells here somehow, they're going to be in trouble here. But They're playing Onomats, which got a new wave of support that made them meta in the OCG for a bit. I don't know if they're still meta to this at this point, but the new cards definitely gave this old archetype some really good life. So we're going to see what kind of end board they're going to be on. I think they end on a one or two negates or some bounces and or pops, but I am not familiar enough with the archetype to know exactly what they end on. It is a combo deck, so just going to see, yeah, the go Goblinberg, and then the Gagaga Ganbara Knight are I think the two of the new ones, and Onomata Pickup has like been there since day one of the archetype. So yeah, I'm not gonna make you guys sit through it because this is a combo deck and I have no interaction whatsoever unless this is a quick play, right? Question mark? No, it's a normal play. Normal spell rather. So yeah, I'll just see you guys at the start of my turn, or preferably at my draw phase because vision is in my hand. And we also have TFTV, so we can hopefully deal with stuff here, but we're just going to see. So I'll just see you guys at the start of my turn. Okay, we're back, and my opponent ended on a spell negate. I believe this is an Omni negate, question mark, detach. No, it's not a negate, but it's a take control, basically. And then I believe this guy is also a negate, question mark. No, when you declare an attack becomes 0. Okay, where are their negates? It's only Utopic Draco Future, and the Hope Harbinger. So we can still try, but Utopic Future Zexal here is going to be a problem. So what we're going to do here actually is, since we have 2 copies of that, we're going to bait it out with TFTV first. And we're going to send Fallen of Albaz, we're going to send Albion. And we're going to try to destroy this guy because it's the only one we can target. He's not invulnerable, I believe. Or if there's something I'm not reading here, cannot attack directly. Okay, it doesn't say. Okay, that will be negated. That is about what I expected. And now we're going to use vision as a way to try and draw out of this. So we're going to see if they still have a negate for this. I don't think they do. All right, cool. Now we're going to let this chain resolve now that we have the spell out of the way. We drew 2 and we will discard the Phonics, I believe, and then he will... No, actually. We will discard, because Crocea will be on the field. We don't really need monsters anymore. We'll just discard the Swen because we have other copies of him in the deck anyway. The ones that we really need are Crocea and Phonics, and Phonics is going to be needed on the field to hopefully try and clear the bullshit that is on the field here. So we're going to put down Crocea first. Actually, we're going to try and bait that negate out of the Utopic Future. So again, we're gonna try, and the Hope Harbinger consumed one of them, so there is that. All right, cool. So Crocea on the field. Now she tries to search. Let's see what they do here, and we can't use TFTV anymore because it's only once per turn. And okay, about what I expected. Now that Utopic Future is there, we're going to use the other vision. We're going to add Mystical Space Typhoon to our hand. And that will trigger Phonics, and that's going to allow me to at least soften the blow here a little. So we're going to keep it on. We're fighting on my draw phase, by the way, so there is that. So he controls Crocea now. Now we're going to use Phonics. We're going to special summon him to the field, and then we're going to try to bounce the stuff that he has that he has on the field. So okay, so we can do some stuff, but we can't do everything. Why can't I target back row? It's because of this guy. I don't know why I can't target his back row, but I'll find out soon enough why. So we're gonna trigger Eldam. We're gonna try to search some stuff here. Okay, effect Veiler. They're not using Zexal yet, but then again, they can't use Zexal anymore because they don't have space. Okay, so that one happens. Okay, and then we're going to use well, we could, but I don't think I should, because that will turn off phonics. But we do need to get rid of some things here. So yeah, unfortunate, because we can't really activate much else here. So we're going to use the Typhon here. So there is that. And then we're going to get rid of their highest investment monster. Well, actually, this doesn't really do much now at this point, but it is huge. So we're going to detach, and then we're going to try to return a card on the field. Yeah, this is the biggest, and unfortunate. So yeah, I believe because this is a negate, but this is the biggest. It's going to kill us anyway. So yeah, the highest investment monster is going to need to die. And then, now that Phonics is in the graveyard, we can now use this. So we can get rid of the sole piece of back row that he has. Okay, it's Crossout Designator? Okay then. I did not expect that, but okay. Now that he's doing that, blah blah blah, while in the graveyard, I can special summon him. Okay, cool. I haven't activated that effect yet, so he can still come out, but he can't activate his effect. So we'll have to do a lot of crashing here. I'm going to crash Phonics into their negate, and I think the board is why can't I summon? Alright, no, because Typhon is on the board. Well, I may have just screwed myself over by summoning Typhon here, but yeah. I mean, I don't know if I had any other outs, because I don't know why I couldn't target his back row with does this cannot target other cards. Okay, cool. Utopic Zexal was the one providing protection. All right, cool. So yeah, I didn't have any other ways to break the board anyway. So yeah. Because if I didn't bounce Utopic Draco Future, then he would have, you know, killed me with a 13,000 attack Zexal anyway. So, yeah. I had absolutely no chance against this combo deck because I did not go first and did not draw any hand traps. Let's move on to the next duel. Won the die roll at the very least, so let's see if I can make a board this time. We bricked yet again. But at the very least, we have a max C, so that is something. Sadly, we won't be able to use a full loss this time around, unlike last time, but we do have a droplet and an MST negate, question mark. So we're going to set 3 and hope and pray to the gods that this gets us somewhere. These hands have been atrocious lately, Jesus Christ. Because full loss isn't going to be doing much anyway. We'll just put him on defensive duty and hope to the gods that Max C gets us somewhere. So we're going to do our thing here. We're going to activate Max C, and then we will actually chain block with Mandate, if that's even possible. So we're going to see. Unless my opponent gets a window of opportunity here, but we're going to see because they are turn players, so they could get in between me playing Maxi and then activating Mandate. So that is something that they can do. And then Mandate is okay. We're gonna activate Maxi. Hopefully it gets us somewhere, but we're going to see if they if they have an Ash Blossom. Okay, we are going to chain block, so Mandate is going to protect us from Ash Blossom, and we'll hopefully draw cards from here. If we draw into Sheena, which is now that I think about it, is turned off because I set full loss face down, but we'll just live with it. We do have 2 negates, but I don't know how far we're going to get because my opponent could simply not care, and we're up against Onomats yet again. So this is a combo deck again, so we're going to see how far they go from here. I believe they didn't activate effect. Why? Because they're under Max C. Okay, I guess that saved us a bit. So they're just setting a couple of cards, and we have a negate. We have a negate, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, they're setting 3 now. I guess being under max C, sometimes it just auto wins games. It's just a sacky one of. Good God, that card just needs to go. It needs to go. This is not exactly good gameplay, but I was very far behind, so I think it's just as well. Okay, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. This was the last card they set. The first card they set is usually the one that we need to take care of. So, do we shuffle shit into the deck? I don't think so. Not yet, anyway. So, we can negate it. Because, good God, we don't have anything else to do here. What did we get rid of? Magnet Reverse. Oh, this is not Onomats. This is Magnet Warriors. We can have its attack so that it can't get through, but I think that's a waste of a Forbidden Droplet. So we'll just let Fualas go, and we're going to see if my opponent combos off from here. So if they even try to combo off. Because they see that I've bricked, because these are literally the 5 cards that I have in hand. They can just pass turn and save themselves the trouble of running into a max C challenge here. So okay, Eldam definitely unlocks a lot of shit, but my opponent did not play anything, so this could just spell trouble for us. We're not going to set in the Imperm column because we're responsible like that. So we get Eldam. That just passes through, so that's interesting. Then we go into Crosea because that's really the play that will unlock a lot of shit here. So we tribute Eldam, and we're going to set Crosea on the leftmost side because we can. There we go. And then Crosea, she does her thing. A lot of our shit is just passing through. Okay, cool. We get Vision, and we get an MST from the deck. And this just opens us up for a negate or two, so we're going to see. Vision, we'll draw 2 cards because, good God, we need it. Okay, another Eldam who has already activated his effect, so that's not going to help us here. So we're going to discard the Eldam. And then we'll use Chant. There we go. We'll add a level 4. There we go. We're not going to use MST here to do shit, because we need bodies. And we don't really need Swen at this point, so we'll just get Megala. There we go. I have actually been thinking of reducing Swen down a few notches, but I think we still need the bodies. Now, because we have Mandate in our grip now, I don't think we need too much here. So we use MST to hopefully destroy one of the back row. We're going to destroy the second one. Opponent's still not doing anything, so okay, Link Burst. That is an interesting choice. In the making here. We're gonna get Phonics from the deck. There we go. And we have a negate on board anyway, so we're not in too much trouble here. Now we can make all our wind monsters gain 300 attack. So yeah. Once per turn, I can shuffle 3 quick plays. Guess what? We have 3 quick plays. But we're going to leave 1 MST behind because we need at least 1 MST in the graveyard at all times. So there is that. So they'll gain 300, and this will make our attacks. Well, don't mind if I do, deck. We're going to get Swen, then we'll get 1 more MST out of the deck this way. There we go. I believe we can actually use Manifestation to send the Vavavoom to the graveyard, but we can just do that on our own turn, or rather on my opponent's turn. So yeah, we're gonna get the last MST, and yeah, we just swing in. We're going to start with Phonics first. So we go to the biggest, and before damage calculus. No, we're not gonna do that. And yeah, Max C pretty much won us the game there. I don't know if they have anything else. This means that my opponent has a card that requires them to have been damaged directly, question mark. We're going to find out soon enough, but if it's the back row, we have an MSD for that. Okay. Split Mirror of the Underworld, sure. Oh wait, no. Yeah, once per chain. I don't know why it didn't allow me to activate. Oh, is it because it's during the battle step? Okay, it's rather during the damage step. Yeah, sure. It summons her again. Now that, yeah, combat ended right then and there. Now we can do some interesting stuff. We can just go into Vavavoom, have another Mystical Space Typhoon, because we have 2 copies here. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Uh, so we're going to use Crosea and Phonics. There we go. And we're going to put Vavavoom here because we fear no god. And then Vavavoom will search us the last copy of MST in the deck. There we go. And we're still going to keep Megala around because we need them. Or, you know, we can just keep Phonics because I think they're not going to be able to do much. And yeah, I think we're going to do it like this because we have a negate on board anyway, so we don't really need Vavavoom, so this should send chills up my opponent's spine. So we're going to set 1. I think that will be it. And we could use Vavavoom's effect here, but I don't think I'm going to. So yeah, we're just going to pass and dare my opponent to do what they need to do here. So we have 2 negates well, technically 3 negates. So we have a monster negate, an omni negate, and another omni negate. So we're going to see if my opponent can even push through this. They can kill Vavavoom because she's already done her job. She doesn't need to do much anymore. The one that they need to be scared of is Gossip Shadow, which a card that I don't know why has gotten by a lot of ban lists over the years, but I guess he was never the problem. The problem was always Rongominiad. And now he's being used in the Radiant Typhoon deck as a toolbox option, just so that it can act as a quote-unquote negate, and it even draws both players a card because, I mean, hey, who wouldn't want to draw a card? You are tribute summoning. You are fucking tribute summoning a 0-attack monster. Why are you doing this, opponent? There had better be a good reason for this, or else I might just kill you. Okay, you're giving me a juicy target for MST, so that is always nice. And that will allow me to get Phonics out of the graveyard, so that is something. You're just going to take 2600 here? That be my guest, so... yeah, I mean, Vavavoom is not going to deal you damage if you're just going to crash into Bamboozling Gossip Shadow, so... Be my guest, so, yeah. We're going to do it here, yeah, except during the damage step, so, yeah. We're just going to do it at the end of turn, so there's that. Yep, take 26, sure. I don't know why you have this in the deck. I think he bricked pretty hard because of the Max C. So, yeah, I'm not gonna make you guys sit through this. My opponent has pretty much committed Sudoku here. So, yeah, we will successfully move on to the next duel. Okay, so I went and checked my previous opponent's deck, and I don't think my opponent was a normal player. He was a masochist player. Holy shit. You know, facing off against these people in the wild every once in a while is always a treat because you know for a fact that they're doing this on purpose. Because this random assortment of cards, you know, you get an Ash Blossom for free by opening packs. Then everything else in this deck is, you know, something you just scrounge this up together. And yeah. I'm honestly, you know, fight on, opponent, fight on. You're going to get a victory one of these days, and well, sadly, I'm not one of them. But for anyone else, well, yeah, fight on, opponent, fight on. You know, I'm already like this late into the recording, and I have not activated TFTV even once. Well, I did, but it barely did anything. So. Let's see if the future duels can show you the awesome power of this card. So, we're going to see. We are going second, so already we are in a bad spot. We are facing off against the deck that I dismissed so early on in this video, Neocraft. It's a weird archetype. It deals with pendulum flip monsters, which is the weirdest combination of words that you will ever say in a Yu-Gi-Oh game. And this is the entire shtick of the archetype. They set stuff face down, and like the Mibi ghouls before them, they activate when they do shit. Oh my god. I think it's all the same guy. It's all Architail. Oh my god, it's all Architail. Yeah, it's all Architail. Wait, why do they have 4 copies of Architail? Are they cheating? Because Architail, and then Arcatail, and then Arcatail, and then Arcatail. Why do they have 4 copies of Arcatail? Opponent? Is there something I need to know here? But yeah, we're going to use Vision. I think Arcatail has a negate. Wait, I need to do some reading first. Changes face down. So I think I just need to destroy the field spell. I think I just need to destroy the field spell here because this just target a face-up card on the field. Yeah, DFTV. Send the Fallen of Albaz. We're gonna send Albion, and then I'll kill the field spell. Question mark. I think this is the entire crux of the deck. I think. Okay. Okay. That would destroy. Okay. Change. Cannot be destroyed. Okay. Cool. Forcing it out of them. All right. Cool. At least we got that out of the way. So we'll discard the extra Crocea. There we go. And now that they've activated a monster effect, so we got burned a little. So Arcatail is okay. We can't destroy their back row now. So but at the very least now, Sheena is live, so we can bounce their entire board back to hand. So who do we add? Who do we add? We'll definitely add an MST after the fact. We don't have an MST in the graveyard yet, and my opponent does control a spell trap. What's the special summoning condition? Oh, no, controls no spells and traps. All right, cool. So we'll be bouncing shit back to our hand anyway, and we haven't normal summoned, so we might actually need more spells at this point. So we'll get Swen, and we'll get an MST. So we're going to see what else my opponent does here. Okay, so they have been added to our hand. What else are you gonna do here, opponent? Standby phase, main 1. All right, cool. We can actually start by summoning Megala and trying to destroy Anniapolis. But we're going to do this first. We're gonna normal summon Swen because my opponent controls the spell trap. Then we're going to add Manifestation, and we're going to bounce shit to hand. Yeah, we're going to have access to Phonics this way. Or we can just, you know, use Chant and no, actually, we don't have much at this point. Yeah, question mark. We can summon another Crocea, and we don't have rank 6 Xyz here. We just have a lot of level 3s. So yeah, we'll just use Manifestation here, which is just a one of fun of. Okay, and then we will send a card to the graveyard. There we go. Yeah, I'll send the Radiant Typhoon. And we will send the Phonics, which will, okay, ow. Well, I mean, getting bird for 900 is not nothing, but hey. Now we will get our one of fun of copy of Vavavoom. There we go. And note that they're not activating any monster effects here, so we could actually just die to our own burn effects, unfortunately. So we're not going to activate that one yet. We'll add an MST. There we go. And then we will activate an MST here. Yeah, because Vavavoom hasn't exactly done her job yet. So we'll use Mystical Space Typhoon. This can't be destroyed anyway, but the only condition I need is for a quick play spell to activate here. So so we got one of their Arcatails down. Let's see what else they do here. Okay. Now that that wasn't destroyed, we will use Chain Links here. Vavavoom will get Mandate, and then Phonics will be on the field. There we go. This is a very slow way to do it, but I think we're doing it here. And this will also allow us to spin some of their stuff back into the deck, so we're going to see. Okay, now that Megala is going to be on the field, there we go. And then, now we will activate another MST. There we go. We're going to try to destroy it. And then, Phonics is going to trigger his effect. This should do some shit. And we will, once per chain, negate the Arcatail. There we go. So now we are not going to get burned. And Phonics can spin back the other stuff here. Oh, he wasn't cheating. The other one was Pixia. Alright, cool. Now that you're doing that, what happens if I just bounce the entire board? Come on, I know you want to. Bet you didn't expect that now, did you, opponent? I believe they can only, no, it's a quick effect thing. Alright, cool. Do you have a response to Sheena? So, and bam! Everyone gets bounced back to hand. Well, nearly everyone. Oh, I did not expect face downs. Okay, I guess I wasn't reading the I wasn't reading it well enough. Yeah, return all face ups. So yeah, phonics yet again. Oh my god. Mandate. We will not trigger it just yet. Now we just move to combat and try to attack? Question mark. I know that they have effects when they are flipped face up forcibly, but we're going to see. No, they don't. All right, cool. So they go into the face up extra deck, so that's immediately scary. Okay, and that's the boss monster of the deck, Atorimar. So there is that. Okay, they just go, okay, change all, and then they cannot change their battle positions. Great. That is fine, because we have shit that we cannot interact with, unfortunately. Now we have Albion, so we get to set another TFTV from the deck, and yes, we will set it, and yeah, there we go. So they can't change their battle positions, but we will try to destroy Annapolis again. Alright, cool. Remove all EC counters, and then opponent takes 900 damage for each, so he doesn't have any EC counters. So there is that, and they draw a card, and we'll try to activate TFTV here. There we go. And then we'll send it, and we'll send Ecclesia this time, and we'll try to destroy the field spell yet again, and this time we succeed. Alright, cool. Now we'll shuffle all of the quick plays back. So we'll shuffle back. Well, we still have 2 copies of Vision, so we'll return the Manifestation. Then we'll shuffle back the 2 TFTVs. So you can see why TFTV is pretty goddamn good in this deck, but we only really have 1 point of interaction. It's not even live because the stuff that we have on board is face down and they cannot exactly change their battle positions. So yeah, I don't know how much else I can fight against this deck because again, it plays on an axis that is not normal by any standards, but you know, it's an archetype that people should definitely keep in mind as they play in Master Duel now, because again, it plays in a way that is not exactly normal. It's basically what happens if the what was that other archetype? The guys that live underground. I don't remember their name off the top of my head. It'll probably come up in post if I remember to put it there. But those guys, you know, they even have a link monster now that allows them to get monsters from the deck, and then they get set face down. So there is that. And this is basically just a supercharged version of that deck. So yeah. I don't know how much longer I have to live here, but my monsters are generally larger than theirs, well, except in the defense stat. But in the attack stat, I am slightly larger than theirs, because yeah, 100, 100, and I believe their boss monster, yeah, Atorimar is at 3k, yes, but they need to pendulum summon it out of the extra deck, so there is that. But they probably have a way to do it with just their main deck monsters if they don't have extra deck monsters. So yeah, this will either be a long grindy duel, or you know, this just ends very quickly because they can somehow attack over face down monsters. So yeah, I'll okay, so it's that kind of deck. Okay, so it prefers to play on the opponent's turn. Great. This will be a long duel then. So I'll see you guys at the end screen, because this will take a while. Okay, we're here at the end screen, and well, lo and behold, I found out what the Eneacraft win condition is. There's a reason why their field spell is so important, because it is the win con. Because every time an Eneacraft monster is flipped face up, it gets a or rather the pendulum zones get EC counters, or Eneacraft counters, I guess, because Eneacraft is way too much of a mouthful to put on a card. So They get it, and then your opponent will take 900 damage for each one that that has been accumulated, and they get enough. It's usually enough to I think they need only about 12, maybe around, yeah, around there. I can't do mental math. So yeah, they will literally just burn you to death. They don't attack at all. So this is definitely an archetype to watch out for in Master Duel, because I do not hear this archetype being used at all in the paper game. But it's something to, gotcha people. Especially for people who don't know how to fight against it. I guess the only way to do it really is to, get rid of the field spell. If you can get rid of the field spell, then Eniacraft doesn't exactly have a win condition. Granted, um, one thing I learned is that their negate, by the way, is not once per turn. There is not a single thing here that says once per turn. So also, something to keep in mind. And by the way, the negate also banishes a random card face down from the opponent's hand. So Pixia is definitely one of the two to watch out for, apart from their boss monsters. So yeah, I lost to a deck that fights on an axis that I do not have any hopes of winning against. So yeah, TFTV definitely showed off a bit here and there. Even getting to the point where I was trying to activate Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon in the graveyard multiple times, just so that I can shuffle something from the field back into someone's deck. But they have their negates ready, and they can't exactly banish stuff that they can't interact with. So that is something Eniacraft is going to be quite ready for. So yeah, if you like complex decks, honestly, this deck feels a bit too much for me. But if you want to try an Eocraft, good god, this deck might just be right up your alley. But otherwise, as for TFTV, yeah, it's about as powerful as people say it is, because I was at a point in the game where the second line of text mattered, and I was able to summon the main deck version of Vavavoom onto the field, and they had a secondary negate for it, which was the where was it here? It was a really interesting thing to see. If we can even get to it, question mark. Where was it? No, it wasn't Pixia. There we go, Spia. Yeah, the spider. This only triggers its negation if the chain link is 3 or higher, and we were in a counter war at that point, and now Spia basically, it was a Witch's Strike. I cannot believe they made Witch's Strike a viable option. But yeah, Eniacraft is I guess going to be here to stay. But obviously it will probably fall off once people learn how to fight around it. But otherwise, it's going to gotcha a lot of people for the time being. So yeah, we're gonna end it here. And if you guys like what you saw, hit like, comment, subscribe, and share it among your friends. And until next time, toodles.